We need to make some minor sacrifices and probably some major sacrifices. Otherwise, Maine's environment is going to be trashed.
He's been fighting for Maine's natural resources his entire life. We'll speak with one of Maine's true environmental leaders, Tony Marple, next on Clearing the Air. I'm Thorn Dickinson. I am excited about sharing with you authentic conversations from Mainers throughout the state about the value this project delivers. I've had the great opportunity to travel all across Maine and meet incredible people, and there are few Mainers that care more about the environment than Tony Marple.
I remember back in the early 60s, my mother read Rachel Carlson's book and kind of freaked out. And then I read a book in the early 70s that talked about what was called global warming then. And that just freaked me out too. Mainly back then because I loved winters, you know, snowshoeing, cross country and stuff. I was on the NRCM board and, you know, which I really enjoyed. That was back in the Brownie Carson days. So I was on it for 8 years. Probably the best board I ever served on. I've been active in town, you know, helped the town get solar panels to cover its needs. And I was active with the RSU 12 on their solar farm initiative with Sundog, which is, you know, got approved. We have an electric car, Chevy Bolt, probably the least expensive of them. And then we have a Volt. It's always confusing to get those names right, which has about a 70-mile all-electric range before it goes to gas. So we added panels for that on the barn. And then we added heat pumps in the house, still using some wood. And then the panels are on that shed we built for my tractor. And so kind of converts all electric tools, which are really good actually, electric lawnmowers, chainsaw and stuff. And starting to research electric tractors, that would really be good.
So we had a chance to catch up with Tony at his farm in Whitefield, Maine. He's been growing blueberries here on his farm for more than 35 years, and he's getting ready to pick this year's crop. So you took over the property. You didn't have any idea that you were going to do blueberries until you kind of stumbled across what was here?
Well, we started with 15 acres, kept adding more. The land was very cheap back then. And then this came up for sale, along with some really trashed woodland behind here that they called a managed forest, which is highly managed really badly. This was maybe 15, 20, maybe 17 years ago. That land came up for sale, and the owners were threatening to put a gravel pit up there or cell tower. And so Marianne got involved. She was we always walked up there and really liked that property. So we ended up buying it along with some forest land back there for a remarkably low price. So we had to put a lot of work into cleaning it up. But it's been fun.
Tony sees climate change as not only a threat to his farm, but to all Maine's environment. And that's really what drives his motivation to support the Clean Energy Connect.
A lot of people talk about the loss of carbon sequestering trees along the corridor, but that's really minor compared to the use of biomass, which is major, and the logging, the other forms of logging. And think about ski areas. That's a clearing. What I see is people are looking for any reason they can find to be negative about this project, and it's unfortunate. We need to make some minor sacrifices and probably some major sacrifices. Otherwise, you know, Maine's environment is going to be trashed. You know, we have 3 granddaughters who are really outdoor kids, and that really troubles me that, you know, we're not doing anything. And, you know, it's frustrating.
Tony spoke very highly of his years on the NRCM board, but also about his disappointment in NRCM's decision to oppose this project.
NRCM has kind of closed their mind to this project. The way I look at it, right now, the last I read, only 4% of New England's power, and this power is a New England grid, not just Maine or Massachusetts. Only 4% is wind and solar. So if you think of the energy needs, because, and the governor agrees with this, the biggest emissions right now come from transportation and heating in Maine. And so we need to electrify those. And that will double demand. And now, you know, let's say it happened today, that would mean solar and wind were 2%. And then look at the timeline. 2030, 2050, total elimination. And to just do that with solar and wind, things that are uncontroversial, assuming the wind is offsite, you know, invisible, I just think it's absurd.
Tony also was very frustrated with a current NRCM member who accused him of saying false statements about the project.
Well, I think what you see with the opposition, the No CMP corridor crowd and its various affiliates, including Calpine and Vistra, the natural gas companies based in Texas, is an ideology. And if you say anything positive and factually positive about this project, then you're accused of being a liar. And that's what, frankly, NRCM did to me when I wrote a column in favor of the project. The Union of Concerned Scientists are very strong supporters. The MIT Clean Energy Group is a very strong supporter. And are they liars? You know, what do they know? It's crazy. So very disappointing.
So for Tony, I think it's critical that he gets his message out there about how important this project is to fight climate change, not only here in Maine, but also for the entire region.
Nowadays, people don't want to do anything. They don't, you know, they don't want to make any sacrifice. And frankly, you know, I think the power line to bring Hydro-Quebec power to the New England grid is a very minor sacrifice compared to the potential damage that's going to happen if we don't act promptly to the, you know, particularly the Maine coast and the Maine forest land in all sections of the state.
Thank you for the tour of your house. It was great, and for the lesson in picking blueberries. And with that, cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for coming.